Hello students, once again welcome you to GK's maths classes. Today what we are going to do is we are going to continue with applications of differentiation. Under that we are going to do more problems in rate of change. Already in part 1 of the video I have done few questions from rate of change. Today we will be doing more problems from rate of change. Okay, so let's straight away get inside the problem without wasting any time. So I think we know the basics, so let's do the problem. This is actually a very simple chapter also. Okay. Two equal sides of an isosceles triangle with a fixed base B are decreasing at the rate of 3 centimeters per second. How fast is the area decreasing when the two equal sides are equal to the base? Okay. So let's first draw the draw the isosceles triangle. So I just want you to assume that it is a right isosceles triangle, and I will draw the perpendicular also. You know the perpendicular divides the isosceles triangle into two equal halves. Okay. So now he says the two equal sides of an isosceles triangle with fixed base B. So the base is B. So since since a perpendicular divides the isosceles triangle into two equal halves, so this will be B by 2, this will also be B by 2. And let me take the equal sides as x, and he says that the two sides are decreasing, so dx by dt is decreasing at the rate of minus 3 centimeter per second. Since it is decreasing, I am putting minus sign. I want to know how fast is the area increasing or decreasing. Here it is decreasing. So what is area of a triangle? Half base into height. So what is the base here? Here the base is B. And what is the height? The height will be, I call this as h. The height is root of x square minus b square by 4. I am using Pythagoras theorem. Okay. So it is root of x square minus b square by 4. But he also says a fixed base b. That means b is a constant. Okay. So remember, b is a constant. So x is a variable. So what is dA by dt? dA by dt will be half b is a constant. I want to differentiate this. So what is that? 1 by 2 root of x square minus b square by 4. First I differentiate the root. I am using chain rule. And differentiation of x square is 2x. Since I am differentiating with respect to t, it is dx by dt. So now automatically 2 gets cancelled, and you have got dA by dt equal to half b. Here he says when the two equal sides are equal to the base. So I want to x, if x is equal to b. Okay. So in place of x I put b divided by root of b square minus b square by 4, and dx by dt is given it as minus 3. So it will be minus 3b square by 2. If you take LCM, you get root of 3b square by 2. 2 gets cancelled. So I get minus 3b square divided by root 3b. So b also gets cancelled, which is ultimately minus root 3b, and the unit is centimeters per second. Okay, very simple, very simple. All that you need to know is that in an isosceles triangle, the perpendicular will bisect the base. This is a very important type of question. Water is dripping out from a conical funnel at a uniform rate of 4. So the volume is given. So dV by dt, water is dripping out, so the volume will be minus 4 centimeter cube per second. So let's have a diagram also. So let me take a cone. Okay, and it's an inverted cone. It's an inverted cone, and water is dripping out from here. Imagine there's a tiny hole there, and water is dripping out. Okay, and this is the water inside the cone. So when it is dripping out, understand the volume of the water inside the cone is going to decrease, and at what rate it is decreasing? It is decreasing at minus 4 centimeter cube per second. Now what is volume formula? It's 1 by 3 pi r square h. What other information is given in the question? The other information that is given in the question is the vertical angle is 120. This is called the vertical angle. If that is a vertical angle, then what is this angle? Well, I call this a semi-vertical angle. It's a right circular cone, so it is a semi-vertical angle. So this will be 60 degrees. Okay, semi-vertical angle. The vertical angle is 120, so semi-vertical angle is 60 degrees. Now the question is, he wants you to find rate of decrease of slant height. Okay? Rate of decrease of slant height. He is not at all interested in radius. He is not interested in height. He wants to know at what rate is the slant height is changing. He wants to know at what rate is the slant height is changing. Okay. Now let us assume that at a given time, okay, let me take this and copy it. So at a given time, the water is decreasing like this. Okay, so this will be the radius. Let me just change the color for you to see the difference. So this is the water cone, and I call this as the radius of the cone. This is the height, and this is the slant height. So slowly this is decreasing. Okay. Now you know clearly sine 60 from the diagram. Sine 60 is opposite by hypotenuse, and you know cos 60 is also, cos 60 is height by hypotenuse. So what is r equal to? L into root 3 by 2, and what is h is equal to? L by 2. Now take these values and substitute here. So what do you get? Volume equal to 1 by 3 pi, and what is the radius? L square, r square is given. It will be L square into 3 by 4, and the height is what? Height is L by 2. So 3 gets cancelled, and what is the volume? Volume is pi by 4 L cube, actually pi by 8 L cube. Now you differentiate. What is dV by dt? dV by dt will be pi by 8 into differentiation of L cube will be 3L square into dl by dt. Now what is dV by dt? dV by dt is minus 4. Now if I cross multiply, I get 8 divided by 3 pi L square equal to dl by dt. So this is minus 32 by 3 pi. What is my slant height? Slant height is given as 3. Slant height of the water is 3. So this will be 3 square dl by dt. So what is dl by dt equal to? dl by dt equal to minus 32 by 27 pi. I think it is centimeter cube, centimeter per second, I think, right? So what was the unit? Size per second. So clearly you can see slant height is decreasing at the rate of what? 32 by 27 pi centimeter per second. If you say decreasing, you have to write plus. If you say increasing, you can put a minus. Okay. The next is, this is something similar to the previous problem. So let us see how we do this. water is dripping out from a conical funnel of semi-vertical angle pi by 4. There the semi-vertical angle was so 120 degrees. So there semi-vertical angle was 60 degrees. Here it is pi by 4. At a uniform rate of 2 centimeters square per second in a surface area through a tiny hole at the vertex in the bottom of the cone. When the slant height of the water is 4 centimeter, find the rate of decrease of slant height of the water. Okay. Now let's go back to this problem. I'll take this diagram so that I don't have to waste my time. So I have this diagram here. Okay, so these things can be removed. This is not required, this is not required. Okay, water is dripping out, and this angle is given as 45 degrees. And surface area ds by dt is 2 centimeters square per second. Okay. Now I want to know at what rate is the slant height is changing. So what is surface area? Now here the understanding is the surface area of where the water is in contact with the surface. Okay, the water is in contact with the surface of the cone. The water that is contact with the surface of the cone is the curved surface area. So that is why we choose pi RL. I'm not talking about this cone. Don't take pi r square along with it, because here he means that the water is in contact with the surface of the cone, so it is pi RL. Now I want to find rate of change of slant height, right? So from the diagram it's very clear that sine 45 equal to R by L. So what is sine 45? 1 by root 2. So L by root 2 equal to R. So I will substitute here. So I get pi. This is L square by root 2. Now I want to find ds by dt. What is ds by dt? Pi by root 2 into 2L into dl by dt. Now the surface area what is dripping out? So the volume is, the surface area is decreasing, so I put a minus sign. So minus 2 equal to pi by root 2 into 2L dl by dt. 2 can be cancelled. I get minus root 2 by pi L equal to dl by dt, which is minus root 2 by pi. Here the slant height is given as 4 equal to dl by dt. So the answer is the L is decreasing at the rate of root 2 by 4 pi. I think the unit is centimeter per second. Okay. Now let's go to the next one. I think there's a problem here. I forgot to delete all this. Okay, let's go to the next question. The volume of a cube is increasing at a constant rate. Show that the rate of change of surface area is inversely proportional to the edge of the cube. So let me take the edge of the cube as x, and he has said that the volume is increasing at a constant rate. So I call it as k. So V is equal to dV by dt is k. K is a constant. This is what is given in the question. Now I'll take the surface area. Surface area of the cube will be 6x square. Okay, let it be there. I want to find ds by dt. So what is ds by dt? ds by dt is nothing but 12x into dx by dt. But I don't know what dx by dt is. So what I will do, I will go to the volume. What is volume of a cube? Volume of a cube is x cube. Now find dv by dt. So what is dv by dt? It is 3x square into dx by dt. Now clearly dv by dt is k by 3x square equal to dx by dt. Call this as 1. I'll take this as substitute here. So what is ds by dt? ds by dt will be 12x into, and dx by dt is k by 3x square from 1. Now x gets cancelled, 3 gets cancelled, I get 4k into 1 by x. Now let us assume that 4k is a constant. It's a constant of proportionality. If I remove the constant, I can say 1 by x. So you have proved that change in surface area is inversely proportional to x, which is x is nothing but the edge of the cube. Okay, this is another simple and very nice sum. A man 160 centimeters tall walks away from a source of light situated at the top of a pole 6 meters high at the rate of 1.1 meters per second. How fast is the length of his shadow increasing when he is 1 meter away from the pole? So first let me draw the diagram for you. I think this is not a suitable diagram. Okay, I'll take this line. So this is the man, and this is the height of the man. Okay, we'll do some adjustment later. Now this is the pole which is situated here. Okay, and now the first thing is the lamp post. So what is the height of the lamp post? Which is 6 meters high. This is the height of the lamp post, which is 6 meters high. This is where the lamp is. Okay, so the shadow will always be on the other side. This is the man, which is 1.6 meters tall. I have to convert it to meters. The man height is given in terms of centimeter. I'm converting it into meters. Now the distance between the man and the lamp post is, I call it as x, and this is the length of the shadow. So if I say A, B, C, D and E, here BE is the distance of the man, BE is the distance of the man from the lamp post. EC is the length of the shadow of the man because of the light. Okay. Now I want to find actually what is given. The man is moving away from the lighthouse. So dx by dt, this is changing. Dx by dt is given as 1.1 meters per second. 1.1 meters per second. Now I want to know how fast is the length of a shadow increasing, right? So now you can see clearly triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEC. ABC is similar to DEC. Why it is similar? Because it is what is it? A similarity. Okay. These two angles are equal, and this is a common angle. Now by ratios, what do you get? AB by DE equal to BC by EC equal to AC by DC. Now what is AB? AB is 6, DE is 1.6, and BC is X plus S, and EC is S. Now you cross multiply. 6S equal to 1.6x plus 1.6s. So simplifying, I get 4.4s equal to 1.6x. Multiplying both sides by 10, I get 44s is equal to 16x. dx. Now differentiate. 44 into ds by dt equal to 16 into dx by dt. But it is very clearly given that dx by dt is what? Dx by dt is 1.1, so 11 by 10. ds by dt is 1.1, so it's 11 by 10. So 11 goes 4 times, 4 will go 4 times, so I get ds by dt is 0.4. The unit is meters per second. Very, very simple. It's a question from class 10th, in fact, where you do similarity and finally just last step you do differentiation. Okay, and this data is not at all useful to me because in my equation I don't come across s or x, so it's easy. Okay, next question. This is again, this is an NCERT worked out example problem. I thought it's very important. Let's do this. Water tank has the shape of an inverted right circular cone with its axis vertical and vertex lowermost. With a semi-vertical angle, I'll call it as alpha. My semi-vertical angle is tan inverse of 0.5. So from this I get tan alpha equal to 0.5. 0.5 is nothing but 1 by 2. Water is poured into it at a constant rate. So water is poured into it, so volume is increasing at the rate of 5 centimeter cubic meter. So meter cube per hour. Find the rate at which the level of water is rising at the instant when the depth of the water is 4 meters. Okay. Let's have a quick diagram. So this is the water tank and the water is poured into it, okay, from a pipe maybe. So water is poured into it. The volume is increasing. So what is volume formula? 1 by 3 pi r square h. Find the rate at which the level of water is rising at the instant. Okay, now from here, this is called the semi-vertical angle, right? Semi-vertical angle. So it is clearly given that tan alpha is 1 by 2. Imagine the water is somewhere here when you're pouring. Okay? This is R, this is H, this is slant height. What is tan alpha? R by H equal to 1 by 2. And since he's asking me to find the rate at which the level of water is rising. So I want to find dH by dt. I want to find dH by dt. So I am not interested in R. So what is H is equal to 2R. Substitute here. So volume equal to pi by 3 into what is R square? R square is nothing but, if I can say, R equal to H by 2. So R square will be H square by 4 into H. Now you can differentiate dV by dt equal to pi by 12. Differentiation of H cube will be 3H square into dH by dt. 3 goes 4 times. Now dV by dt is given as 5. So this will be pi h square by 4 into dH by dt. Cross multiply, you get 20 by pi. But what is H? H is nothing but 4 meters. Okay? H is nothing but 4 meters. So it is 16. So 4 goes 5 times, 4 goes 4 times. So the answer is 5 by 4 pi meters per second. So the height is increasing at the rate of 5 by 4 pi meters per second. Okay. If y equal to 7x minus x square and x is increasing at the rate of 4 units per second, how fast is the slope? What do you mean by slope? I have a curve. Now how do I find slope? I find slope and I denote it as m. It is nothing but dy by dx. So what is dy by dx? 7 minus 2x. Correct? This is my slope. Now I want to find dm by dt. So what is dm by dt? Dm by dt is nothing but minus 2 into dx by dt. Dm by dt is minus 2 into dx by dt. But what is dx by dt given as? Dx by dt is minus 2, dx by dt is 4. So the answer is minus 8, minus 8, slope has no unit, so just leave it, minus 8. So the slope is decreasing. How fast is the slope of the curve changing? So slope is decreasing at minus 8, okay? There's no unit for slope per second, okay? With respect to time, it is increasing at the rate of minus 8. Okay. Now, a spherical iron ball, 10 centimeters in radius, is coated with a layer of ice of uniform thickness that melts at the rate of 50 centimeter cube per second. When the thickness of the ice stream is 5 centimeter, find the rate at which the thickness of ice is decreased. Okay, very simple. So let's let me take a circle. Imagine this is a sphere. Okay, imagine this is a sphere. Okay. Now this is where it is thickness. Okay. Now a spherical iron ball 10 centimeters radius. Okay, this is 10 centimeter. This is 10 centimeter. Is coated with a layer of ice of uniform thickness. So this is the ice. Okay, this is the ice with uniform thickness. The thickness is the same. Okay. Now what is the thickness? I don't know what the thickness is, but I'll take the outer radius as smaller. So what is the volume of the ice? Volume of ice is 4 by 3 pi, the outer radius minus the inner radius. Outer radius minus the inner radius. Okay. Now at what rate is this ice is melting? It is melting at the rate of minus 50 centimeter cube per minute. Why it is minus? Since the ice is melting, the volume is decreasing, so it is minus 50 centimeter cube per minute. Now I will find dV by dt. Now what is dV by dt? 4 by 3 pi into, what is differentiation of r cube? R cube is 3r square into dr by dt. And differentiation of 10 cube is 0. So 3 gets cancelled. So what is dV by dt? dV by dt is minus 50 equal to 4 pi r square into dr by dt. So what is dr by dt from this? dr by dt will be minus 50 by 4 pi r square. Correct? Now he wants to know at what rate is the thickness. At what rate? When the thickness is 5 centimeters, at what rate? At what? Find the rate at which the thickness is of the ice. So I should have taken it as x. So I'll just change this slightly. Okay, not a big thing. I'll take the radius, the bigger radius, as x plus 10, where x is the thickness. Okay, so what is dr by dt? dr by dt is nothing but dx by dt. So here dr by dt, dx by dt, both are same. So what is dx by dt equal to? Minus 50 divided by 4 pi. What is r square? The thickness is 5. When the thickness is 5, my radius will be 15, correct? So 15 into 15. So now this will be 5 goes 3 times, 5 goes 10 times, 5 goes 3 times, 5 goes 2 times, 2 will go 2 times. So it will be minus 1 by, I think it is 18 by centimeter per minute. So clearly the thickness decreases at 1 by 18 pi centimeter per minute. Okay, now let's go to the next question. A cylindrical tank of radius 10 meters is being filled with wheat at the rate of 314 centimeter cube per hour. Find the depth of the depth of the wheat is increasing at the rate of, I have to find that, okay? A cylindrical tank is being filled with wheat. So dV by dt is 314 meter cube per hour. Now this is a cylinder, and this does not change. Radius does not change. So radius is 10. So when you keep pouring wheat, definitely the height is going to change, right? The height will change. So what is volume of a cylinder? Pi r square h. What is r here? R is nothing but 10. So it is 100 h. Now you find dV by dt. So what is dV by dt? 100 pi into dH by dt. But you know dV by dt is nothing but 314. And this is nothing but 100 pi. So I'll take pi as 3.14. So obviously I get dH by dt equal to 1 meter per hour approximately, and that is the option. Okay, very simple, very nice sum. I think this same type of problem we have already covered, so you can always refer to this. Let's not waste our time. I have done a similar. Okay, let's go to this next problem. Here revenue is nothing but price into X. Keep this formula in mind. This problem is more for applied math students, commerce, but sometimes they ask for science also. This is actually a question from the NCERT book, so it's very important. So revenue equal to price into X. That you keep in mind. Now what is marginal revenue? Marginal revenue is nothing but change in revenue with respect to the units produced. Change in revenue with respect to the units produced. So it is 6x, here the revenue is already given, 6x plus 36. I am differentiating this with respect to x. Now what do? I want to find marginal revenue when the number of units produced is 15. So dr by dx is nothing but 6 into 15 plus 36. You can take 6 outside. I get 15 plus 6, which is 6 into 21. So the answer is 126. So 126 option. Very, very simple question. Okay. The next one is exactly like the previous one. Okay, I think you can handle it. dr by dx and put x is equal to 7. You can do by yourself. Now here is asking me to find the marginal cost. I think the question is incomplete. Find the marginal cost. I'll just assume take x is equal to say 10. Okay, take x is equal to 10. So I'm not going to do the calculation. We'll just do. So cost is given. What is marginal cost? Marginal cost is nothing but change in cost with respect to the units produced. So if you differentiate this, I get 0.021 x square minus 0.006 x plus 15. This is marginal cost. Now I want to find marginal cost when x is equal to 10. So that will be like 0.021 into 100 minus 0.006 into 10 plus 15. So if I multiply this, I get 2.1 plus this will be 0.06 plus 15. So the answer is 17.16. So very simple calculation, but this idea is important. Marginal cost means change in cost with respect to the units produced. Okay, now this is actually straight away from the applied maths book. So I thought I'll share this problem, so it will be useful for both the students. A stationery company manufactures X units of pen in a given time. If the cost of raw material, okay, so what is the raw material cost? Raw material cost is square of the pens produced. So the number of pen produced is X, the square of it. And you have a transportation cost. What is the transportation cost? Transport cost twice the number of pen produced, so it is 2x. And you also have property tax. Property tax also comes under cost, right? Property tax, you can say. It is 2000, it is around 5,000 rupees. So what is the total cost function? The total cost function will be raw material cost plus transportation cost plus the tax. So this is the total cost that a company incurs. I want to find the cost of the 21st pen. So you find cost of the 21st pen. So C21 minus C20. Correct? So suppose you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. If I want to find the cost of the second pen, I will find what? I will find cost of the third pen minus cost of the second 2 pens. I'll get the answer. So here he wants to find the cost of the 21st pen. So I want to find the cost of the 21st pen. So you find the total cost of 22 pens, or I think it's 22. From that you minus 21. Okay. So I will leave it to you. Do the calculations. It's very simple. I am not going to do that part. So here you put x as 22. This will be like 22 square plus 2 into 22 plus 5,000 minus 21 square plus 2 times 21 plus 5,000. Okay. So what will be this actually? 22 into 22 is 44, 48, 484 plus 44 minus 441 minus 42. 1000 and 1000 gets cancelled. So I get 8, 12, 582 minus this is 3, 8 and 4. So it will be like 545 rupees. So the cost of the 21st pen, cost of the 21st pen will be 45. Now find the marginal cost. So what is marginal cost? dc by dx. What is dc by dx? 2x plus 2. Differentiation. Now for 50 pence, so 2 into 50 plus 2, which is 102. Very simple. So there are 3 subdivisions. Very, very simple question. But remember, this is from the applied maths. Okay. But they can ask. This is also wonderful question from applied maths book. The price per unit of commodity produced by a company is given by P is given as what? 30 minus 2x, where x is the quantity. Find the revenue. So what is revenue function? I told you revenue function is Px. So revenue is nothing but 30 minus 2x into x. So revenue is nothing but 30x minus 2x square. So I want to find marginal revenue. So dr by dx. What is dr by dx? 30 minus 4x. I want to find the marginal revenue when x commodities are demanded. So 30 minus 4 into 5. So which is 30 minus 20. So the answer is 10. So the marginal revenue is 10. Okay. These are all very important type of questions. Okay. This is again from the ML Agarwal. Sorry, this is from the Cbse handbook, applied mathematics. Okay, but it can also be asked for you. It's nothing great in this. Okay, first of all, a firm knows that the price per unit P for one product is linear. Okay, it's a linear function. It is also known that it can sell 1400 units at the price. So the relation is given. The price is given as a linear function of the number of units produced. A linear means power 1. So AX plus B is a linear. P is the price per unit. Price per unit is given as AX plus B. Now in this question it says that it is known that it can sell 1400 units. It can sell 1400 units at the rate of 4 per unit. So 4 equal to 1400 x 1400 A plus B. Call this as equation 1. The second equation is it can sell 1800 units. So it can sell 1800 units at the rate of what? 2 per unit. So P is 2. So 2 equal to 1800 A plus B. Call this as 2. Now what I do 2 minus 1. When I do 2 minus 1, I get minus 2 equal to 400 A. Correct? So A equal to minus 1 by 200. Once you get A is minus 1 by 200, substitute here. So if we get 4 equal to 1400, what is A? Minus 1 by 200 plus B. So 200 gets cancelled, you get 7 times. So B equal to 11. Now that I got A and B, I got my price. What is my price? My price is 1 by 200 x plus 11. This is my price function. Now I have to create the revenue function. What is the revenue function formula? Revenue is Px. So revenue equal to, what is P? P I already know. Minus 1 by 200 x plus 11 into x. So I got my revenue function. Now I want to find the marginal revenue. So for that, first I open the bracket. We otherwise have to use product rule. X square plus 11x. So what is marginal revenue? dr by dx, which is minus 2x by 200 plus 11, which is minus x by 100 plus 11. He has not given any condition, so I am not using it. So this is the marginal revenue. So this type of questions are very important, especially for commerce students. But it is definitely, we can't say for sure that it will not come for science, because these are not so complicated. It's very simple. Okay, the radius of a cylinder is increasing at the rate of 2 centimeters per second, and its altitude, the radius of a cylinder, so dr by dt is 2 centimeter per second, and the altitude dh by dt is decreasing, it is minus 3 centimeter per second. Find the rate of change of volume. So what is volume? Pi r square h. So here I want to find dV by dt, so nothing else to do but to differentiate. But how do I differentiate? I have to use product rule. R square into dH by dt plus h into 2r dr by dt. Differentiation of r square is 2r. So now just put in the values. Pi into, what is r square? The radius is 3. So it is 9 And what is dH by dt? dH by dt is minus 3 plus 2. What is the height? Height is 5. And what is the radius? Radius is 3. And what is dr by dt? dr by dt is 2. So I get pi into minus 27 plus, this is 15, 30, 60. Okay. So the answer will be 33 pi centimeter cube per second. Simple question. No, not at all difficult. Let's do the last problem. This is again a worked out example in the ML Agarwal, in the Cbse handbook, applied mathematics. Okay, it's not difficult. It can also be asked for science students. That is why I'm sharing it with you, so it's useful to you. A toy manufacturing firm assesses its variable cost to be X, variable cost to be X times what? Sum of 30 and X. Sum of 30 and X, where X is the number of toys produced. Also the cost incurred for storage. So what is the cost incurred for storage? 1500. Repeat again. The variable cost has two components. One is X times, so X into sum of 30 plus X, sum of 30 and X, plus it also has some other cost. What is that? Storage cost. What is the storage cost? 1500, all put together. Find the cost, total cost function. I have found it. Now find the marginal cost. To find marginal cost, I advise you to just open the bracket so that you can avoid product rule. So what is dC by dx? dC by dx is 30 plus 2x. Now I want to find marginal cost when x is equal to 20. So I get 30 plus 2 into 20. So this is 70. Okay. I think with that we finished rate of change. I have done almost, in this itself I did around 18 questions, and in the previous video I did around 20 questions. So I think that should be sufficient to face the examination as far as rate of change is concerned. As I told you, it will come for 1 mark, maximum 2 marks. Sometimes it can go up to 3 marks. I hope these videos are useful to you. Kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the bell icon to get notifications of video that I post. See you again in the next video. Next we'll start with maximum minimum. Until then, bye-bye.